Let's teach these kids how it's done.
United Weston has its biggest game of the season. Now, before this game, there actually was a little bit of banter between both sides. MLC on their Instagram page shared a caption where they said that they were going to put United Weston back in the retirement home. Now, I don't know about you, but yeah, I mean, we're old, but we're not that old. So in this game, the old timers are going to show MLC how it's done. So right here from kickoff, there's just something different about United Weston. We're pressuring the ball more, and there just seems a lot more energy in the side. Weston ends up having a throw-in where Kevin throws the ball to our striker Colton in the midfield. Now Colton ends up heading the ball on to another forward, where the forward then doesn't get the ball because it gets intercepted by the defender. Now a great job by Weston here where we pressure the defense and we cause a turnover, and that leads to a good scoring opportunity. And like I was saying before, the midfield is going to be key to winning this game. And in this next opportunity, MLC almost took advantage of a turnover. Off a throw-in, United Weston ends up losing a battle for possession of the ball in their own end. The MLC midfielder ends up taking the ball down the field and ends up playing it off to the winger at the side of the box, which forces a good save from me, keeping the game at 0-0. Now, come on, boys. I don't want to be working this hard this early in the game. Now, after the save, MLC ends up having a throw-in, and they place the ball into the box where I come out and claim it. Now, if you don't remember in last game, I ended up having a similar type of play where I then found Colton, who then scored a goal, giving me my first assist of the season. Good times. So in this case, when I claim that ball, guess who I'm looking for? I'm looking for Colton for a similar type of play. Now, despite it not working out this time, I still was able to find Colton, and we did generate a little bit of offense from that, but nothing really to highlight. Now, one of our key forwards this season, Brian, ends up having a really good play that generates an opportunity. Receiving the ball in MLC's end, he ends up taking the ball across the middle, where he finds Colton at the top of the box, and Colton ends up taking a shot, but it gets deflected by the MLC defender. Now, after the ball kind of bobbles around a bit, Colton then pressures the defender, which after Colton pressures the ball from the defender, the ball actually then deflects over to the side of the box, where who else but Curtis ends up tapping the goal in, giving his first goal of the season. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, boys. The early lead is crucial, and Curtis, congratulations on your first goal of the season, buddy. Right place, right time. I always like to say you got to be good to be lucky. And in this clip, it really exemplifies about that pressure we're putting on MLC's defense. Now, the MLC goalkeeper has the ball, and he ends up laying it off for his defender. Now, Colton is immediately on that player, causing the defender to play it back to his goalie. And he wasn't done there. Colton then ends up pressuring that goalkeeper. It almost forces a crucial turnover that could have led to a goal. Now, the ball ends up going to the outside back, and our other player, Richard, pressures the ball, causing a turnover. Now, just right before halftime here, again, United Weston has had a lot of good opportunities, but that's not to say that MLC hasn't either. And they had some pretty good opportunities, just like you'll see here. Nonetheless, going into halftime, United Weston is leading 1-0 over first place MLC FC. Now, going into the second half, United Weston wants to keep to their game plan, have that high energy, and keep that pressure on MLC. Now, in the first couple minutes in the second half, a lot of opportunities are kind of going back and forth, but really nothing to note of. And the first opportunity came actually for MLC, where the MLC was playing the ball down the wing, and they end up drawing a foul from our player. Now, free kicks from this position for a goalkeeper can be pretty scary because they can play a good lob cross to the far post and get an easy header that can lead to a goal. So as a goalkeeper, you have to be vigilant, and you gotta place your wall. Now, that was the one thing that I did here. I ended up putting 3 people in the wall here. Now, we're able to block this shot, but thank you to the wall because saves me a lot of work there. Now, shortly after, United Weston finds themselves with a grade A scoring opportunity. Building out from the back from myself, the defender ends up taking the ball and places it down to Brian, our winger, at the MLC's end. Now, Brian controls the ball and ends up finding Colton wide open in the box for a great header opportunity. Now, if that would have went in, that could have been one of our best team goals of the season. We find ourselves with another opportunity. Now, Sonny, our defender, who's having a great game so far, takes control of the ball at the midfield. He then finds Colton in the box and plays a beautiful cross. Now, Colton ends up heading the ball off to Dawson, who has a wide open net. Now, unfortunately here, Dawson doesn't finish this opportunity, but don't you worry, Dawson. There are more chances for you to come. Now, I will say in the second half, United Weston has the majority of the scoring chances. And MLC has, I don't know, just taking their foot off the gas pedal here. But that's not to say that they haven't had their opportunities as well. Where later in the half here, they end up playing a nice through ball onto their striker, where he then ends up taking a half volley shot that just goes over the net. But luckily, we end up holding on to the 1-0 victory over MLC FC. Now, United Weston ends up taking top spot in Division 6. Woo! That's what I'm talking about, boys. What a great result, and oh my god, that is huge for the team. For a side that has always finished in last place in divisions over the last couple of years, being in first place is a great turnaround for this team. Now that concludes the video here. Thank you so much for joining us here on United Weston's biggest game of the season. Now, if you haven't already, check out the previous episodes of the series, but also stay tuned for more. Like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.